So, you bump another interview, huh? You're such a pathetic loser. You have no future, no ambition, no skills. You're just a waste of space. You never even bothered to go to college or get a decent education. You were doomed from the start.
It's not my fault that I can't find a job that suits me. It's not because I didn't go to college. It's because I have different dreams than other women. I want to do something meaningful, something that I'm passionate about. I don't want to settle for a boring job that I hate.
What are you blabbering about? You're delusional. You have no dreams, no passion, no talent. You're just a failure. Honestly, don't you see that you're an embarrassment to your family? We're all successful bankers and you're nothing. Mom and I have had enough of you. Why don't you just leave us alone?
What? What do you mean by that?
We mean that we don't want you here anymore. We're going to get rid of all your stuff that's still in the house. You don't need it anyway. You can go live on the streets, you trash.
Wait, you can't do that to me. That's too cruel. I want to move out too, but I need some time to find a place. You can't just kick me out like this without notice.
Oh, we're not kicking you out. We're throwing you out.
What?
You heard me loud and clear. You and your stuff are garbage, and garbage belongs in the dumpster. We're going to toss you out as soon as possible. You're on your own now. You have no family, no home, no support. Good riddance, you filthy pile of dirt.
How can you be so heartless? Don't you feel guilty when you do this to your own sister? I always knew you hated me, but I never thought you would go this far. This is too much, Barbara.
Don't you dare call me your sister. You're not part of this family anymore. And don't you ever try to come back. We'll change the locks and you'll never get in. I'll make sure everyone knows that you're not welcome here. I'll call the cops if I ever see you near our house. This is your final warning.
I'm speechless. You're insane, Barbara. How can you be so cruel to your own flesh and blood? Don't you have any remorse? Any compassion? I've put up with your abuse for so long, but this is where I draw the line. I never thought this day would come so soon.
Don't blame me for your misery. You brought this upon yourself. You're the black sheep of this family. You never tried to fit in. Look at you, you loser. You never achieved anything. You're a disgrace to our name. You can't even do one thing that we're good at, and that's making money.
But I never wanted to be a banker or have anything to do with money. I had tried working for a bank when I graduated high school, but it wasn't for me, and I chose to go down a different path than all of you did. But because of that, you and the rest of the family call me a failure, even though I've been doing just fine following my dream.
Say whatever the heck you'd like. We've all decided to have you kick out of this house, so don't try coming back or you'll only make life worse for yourself now. Goodbye forever, you pile of garbage. And I'm never going to even think of you as my sister from now on.
Wait, Barbara, are you actually serious about wanting to go through with all this? Can you guys at least give me my things to take with me? Throwing away all those things is not okay. Please don't do this to me. Barbara, are you listening to me?
I'm speechless. I never in my wildest dreams imagined that I'd ever lay eyes on you again after all these years. And of all places, here, at my wedding?
I'm equally stunned. But what really appalled me was the way you reacted when you saw me, and shrieked to have me removed immediately, which of course the security guards obliged.
How did you even find out that I was getting married today? I bet you heard that I found the love of my life and you couldn't stand it. You wanted to crash my party and ruin my happiness. Well, you should know that I never forgave you for what you did. You're dead to me. You're nothing but a piece of trash.
So, even after 12 years have passed, you still have the nerve to call me trash? I thought you would have grown up and changed after such a long time apart, but I was wrong.
Oh, don't play dumb with me. Why did you show up here today? Even Mom is disgusted by your presence. And she wants an answer as much as I do. Why did you travel all this way to see us? I don't recall ever sending you an invitation to my big day. So, why did you barge in here uninvited? Did you think you could reconcile with us?
That was never my intention. And I had no idea this was your wedding.
Really? You expect me to believe that? If you didn't know that today was the day I was marrying the man of my dreams, then why did you come in here all dolled up like you were trying to impress us and worm your way back into the family? I'm sorry, but your outfit is still not up to our standards.
I know very well that you and Mom will never let go of your hatred for me. But contrary to what you predicted, I have not become a failure. In fact, I have surpassed you in every way. And hearing you today, telling me to get out of your wedding without even letting me explain, you have proven to me that you and Mom are hopeless.
Oh, please, Lynn. Don't make us laugh. You have no right to talk to us after how low you sank. Tell me, have you really achieved more than us after all these years? Are you working for the banks now as a banker yourself?
I'm not a banker.
Well then, that settles it. You're a failure and you will never escape from the hole you dug yourself into. So, now, tell me why you had to show up in our lives again on my most important day. Could this have something to do with you losing all your money and begging us for some? We told you long ago that we don't have no use for someone who never got a college degree and who never became a banker like the rest of us. And I don't remember inviting any losers to my wedding.
So you have absolutely no idea what I've been up to all these years, do you?
Huh? What are you talking about? Is there anything worth knowing about you?
I did not come to this wedding today to congratulate you or beg for your money. I'm here at this wedding today because the groom of the wedding today, your husband, is one of my local employees. I came as his CEO to show my support and appreciation for him on this special day.
Huh? You are his CEO? Don't make me laugh, Lynn. Why are you lying to me like that? Why are you making up such ridiculous stories?
As far as I know, the man you are marrying today, Ethan, is working for me in my successful company. But I never expected that the woman he'd be tying the knot with today would be my long-lost sister who I haven't seen in ages. Well, I guess it all makes sense now. He did mention to me a while ago that he'd be getting married to someone who works for the bank.
Why are you calling him Ethan? Like you're familiar with him. There's no way you and him are close enough to tell you where you actually know him personally. Tell me the truth. How do you know the name of my husband?
And I've been telling you the truth for the past few minutes now, but for some reason you're refusing to believe anything I've said, huh? Well, I don't expect you to understand everything I'm telling you, but please trust me that this is all factual.
Wait, so you really are his CEO? You're actually claiming that you are my husband's superior?
You could say that I'm his superior, but I'm the CEO of the company he works for, and there are several people between him and me in the hierarchy. I can see now why you all freaked out today when you saw me. I bet you never imagined that the woman you called a failure so long ago and threw out of the house with all of her belongings would turn into someone who owns her own company and employs your husband.
I bet you're nothing. In reality, there's no chance in hell that you've actually become a CEO after we kick you out. Well, at least that's what I thought. Are you really a CEO now?
I really am. You're being a jerk right now, treating me like this, Barbara. I'll have to talk with Ethan about all of this soon so that he can understand what he's gotten himself into.
Huh? What do you plan to tell him?
Well, I had planned to come to his wedding today, as he requested me to introduce myself as a CEO to his family and friends. But you've gone and kicked me out of there before I even had the chance to explain things. I have been thrown out by both my mom and sister once again, after they both started screaming at me and calling me a pile of garbage and a failure. So I have no interest in coming back to your wedding now. I'll have to tell Ethan about this so that he knows I won't be around to introduce myself to anyone.
Oh no! He did mention to me that today everyone would get the opportunity to meet his CEO. But I never guessed that it would be you when he showed me the name of his CEO. She had the same first name as you, but the last name was different.
It's been more than a decade now since we last spoke. It wouldn't be unreasonable for me to have gotten married in that time span and changed my last name, right?
You got married? In other words, you're saying that you found someone to marry you before I did?
It's been a little over 5 years now since I had my wedding, and it was 10 years ago that I started my small company. And within the past decade, it's grown tremendously to where now I have a few offices outside the city. Ethan has been working for me for a very long time now, at least 7 years, I think. And he's even on track to being promoted into a much better position after his wedding.
Hey, Lynn, I'm not sure if everything you're saying is true or not, but can you promise me that you won't say anything unnecessary to Ethan about this today?
What about this would be unnecessary to him?
I don't want him to think that the reason his CEO couldn't come today to introduce herself to everyone was because of me. Go and tell him that you couldn't make it to the wedding because you feel sick or something like that, okay? I don't believe you when you say you're his CEO. But this is all just to be on the safe side of things. So, if you really are, then do as I've asked. And I promise not to get any more angry with you. You understand what I'm requesting from you, right?
What kind of person do you take me for? You're asking me to do all of that for you, even though you've always treated me badly and hurt me in many ways. Funny how much the tables turn when you realize that I'm not the one in a deep hole that I can't get out of, but rather you are. Let me just say this. No matter how hard you try to persuade me not to tell him, it's too late. I bet when your husband Ethan hears about all of this, he's going to blow up on you.
Why would he be that upset with me? Stop talking to me about my husband like you know him better than me.
Did you know that he never graduated with a college degree either? And that the only reason he has a job right now is because I gave him a chance back then? He's just like me, in a way, coming from a past where nobody respected him. And now he's going to find out that you never respected me for that same reason.
What? Ethan never graduated from college?
It's crazy to think that after how much you bullied me for never graduating from a college, you managed to find someone to marry you who was in the same situation as me.
Well, who cares if he graduated with a degree or not after high school? He's still very young and has a lot of time ahead of him to make lots of money with that brain of his. I know for a fact that he'll never have to worry about finding work in his life because he has the perfect job right now.
But the one that gave him that perfect job happened to be me, the person you bullied long ago for not having a degree. Well, I did manage to go to technical school after that, so you could say I am certified in the work I do. I happen to have the brains and ability, though, where I can succeed in life just like everyone else, without having a degree in anything. I wonder what Ethan will think, though, when he finds out that you bullied someone like him so much and kicked her out of your own family for never going to college.
Wait! Stop that! I told you not to tell him anything unnecessary. He'll start to think that I'm some sort of monster of thinking and acting like that.
Sorry. I just told him about all of that.
What? What the hell are you talking about? No freaking way, Lynn. We're supposed to start the wedding ceremony really soon. Here and now. My man is getting furious and is telling me right now that he never imagined me to be such a disgraceful and horrible human being. I'm in a total panic right now, Lynn.
Well, you starting to panic about all of this isn't going to change the fact that you messed up big time. And I think Ethan has the right to know the real kind of woman you are before he goes any further with you in this wedding. If you were going to make it any further with your antics today without him noticing, then his reaction would only be worse than it is now, where he eventually realizes the real you. I know this must hurt a lot to have happen now, but I think it'd be best if you gave up now.
What do you mean? You think it's best to give up now? What the hell do you think I should be giving up on? Hold on, this is not good. It looks like Ethan is asking for this whole wedding to be cancelled right now.
I knew something like that would happen, but I have to say, I agree with what he's thinking. I know that you're both already married legally, but I'm sure that he doesn't want things to go any further with you now that he's heard everything. Next, he'll probably be asking for a divorce.
Why are you thinking that the worst outcomes are going to happen to us? I do not want him to leave me. I finally found myself a man that has a good job and can bring in the money all I need. But now, I have to live with the news that he's been working for you this whole time. What the hell is up with all of that?
As far as I'm aware, you're the only one who should be considered the mess-up in all of this.
But you're the one that should have never been able to become the CEO of any company. How the hell have you pulled off such a lie that you were able to get even with my husband to believe you?
I told you that none of this is a lie, Barbara. You heard everything from Ethan himself now, right? So you should understand that everything I've said is the truth. I am the CEO of the company he works for, and I always will be, whether you want to believe that fact to be true or not. And that's why at this moment, Ethan is very upset with you. His idea of the person you are was wrong. Someone like you who acts like a bully and thinks that those who never graduated from college are trash don't deserve to become happy. Now you and Mom get lost and fix your ways of thinking.
Even if you do tell us to leave and change, This was the day that I had been dreaming of having for so long. I was about to have a really good man as my husband. But now you're saying that things with him won't work out? Are you telling me that he no longer loves me?
It's not about whether he loves you or not anymore, but that he's been blown away by the monster he's learned you are. I'm sure anyone would be acting the way he is now after learning the person they love is a disgraceful and horrible woman.
But seeing that he trusts you more than he trusts me, don't tell me that you've been planning on something like this happening for the past 12 years.
Now, what about this? What I have planned for.
You knew that he was going to marry me. And that's why you decided to employ him as well. So that you could get your revenge on me, right?
There's no way that'd be the case. How selfish can you be, Barbara? Seriously, I told you already that he's been working for me in this company for a very long time now. So would you stop trying to make things worse by selfishly changing the story to make yourself the victim?
So then, this is all just happening by coincidence?
It's ironic how we live in a pretty small world, isn't it? I honestly didn't believe that I'd ever have the chance to run back into you again, especially after you and the rest of the family kicked me out of the house without any remorse. But I'm sure that after today, you and I really will never have to cross paths with one another again, and that's fine by me.
I just want us to go back the way things were before, when we had nothing to do with one another. But if I do that now, I'll leave all of his mess as it is, unresolved and chaotic. Then, Ethan's going to end up leaving me as well, and I can let that happen. This is all your freaking fault, you know that? I'm supposed to be your big sister, right? So you should do something to help me out, to save me from losing my husband and my wedding. Do something about this right now, before it's too late. Hurry up, damn it!
There's nothing I can do nor want to do to help you, Barbara. Everything that happens from now on regarding your marriage to Ethan has no relation to me whatsoever. All I did today was tell Ethan the truth about the kind of person you are, and about how your actions have hurt me deeply in the past as well as today. But he's the only one that can decide what to do with all of that information, not me. I'm sorry that you never learned to give up on treating me like garbage after 12 years of being apart, but this is what happens to rotten people like you. But maybe now that everything is affecting you personally, you'll start to learn from all of this and change for the better. Now, good luck with that and everything else that's going to ruin your life, because you deserve it.
Wait! Please, Lynn! Please don't do this to me! Please get Ethan to understand me and continue with the wedding. You're his CEO after all, so he'll have to listen to you, right? You have some influence over him, don't you?
Well, if he's going to listen to me, then I'll tell him exactly what I think. I'll ask him to cancel this wedding and get as far away from you as possible, because that's the best thing he can do for himself. Having to be married with you for the rest of his life will be the worst thing to ever happen to him, and I don't want that for him. He deserves better than you, Barbara.
Are you freaking kidding me? How can you be so cruel and heartless?
Now can you stop replying to me about all of this? You're being a pain in my butt, and I don't need that. Goodbye forever, Barbara. Now you pile of garbage must really burn to be a failure in a family filled with elite bankers. Maybe you can go bring Mom along with you as you go burn in hell, because she's just as bad as you are. In the end, Lynn went and told Ethan everything that she knew about his wife and how she views people who never went to college as inferior and worthless. And because of that shocking new information to him, he ended up canceling the wedding and getting a divorce from Barbara, who had lied to him about her past and her feelings. Ethan has always been very thankful of everything Lynn had given him with the job opportunity, and so his love for Barbara died within seconds of hearing the harsh truth from Lynn. And as for Barbara and her mother, the rest of the family learned about what they'd done to Lynn by kicking her out of the wedding and humiliating her, and they were just as angry and disgusted at them as Ethan was. Barbara would then lose her job within her family's bank, where she had worked for years, and would go on to be the family's new failure, despised and rejected by everyone.